Don't say it.
Godsend, one word?
Godsend. Godsend.
Yeah, we can say it. You know, Jessica gets... I'm not putting that on there. I'm not putting that on there.
Wow, Jacob coming in hot off the holiday. My God.
Straight off of the turkey. 'Tis the season for hoes, though.
He's got that.
It is the season for hoes.
He's got that tryptophan inspiring him. He's telling me we can show the video of the people saying bye-bye.
Can we not show the video?
I don't think so.
Why can't we show the video? Hold on now.
No.
Now here we go. With this arbitrary ass way of
I can't take you seriously. You have candy canes on your head.
Yeah, well, damn it, 'tis the season. Ho, ho, ho. Shout out.
I saw that. It was such a, oh God. Who had it? I wish I could give credit. But it was someone saying, ranking of December hoes. Santa times 3. I was like, Santa oh, ho, ho, ho. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Have you started listening to Christmas music?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
you know, we talk. I had to put the,
right.
I had to put the
you
tree
had to put it
up
earlier
than anticipated. I got my first Advent calendar. I've never taken part in that. So
I loved an Advent calendar.
I'm supposed to start now, right?
Your options for Lane Kiffin are fantastic. A scoundrel.
A rapscallion.
Public enemy number 1.
So yeah, when am I supposed to eat the candy in the Advent? When I wake
on
up
the
or
day?
So
whenever you want.
Just whenever, okay.
Yeah.
Does it have to be the same time?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if there's rules to this thing.
I've never done it.
So yours is a candy?
Yes, a candy. Wait, are there other Advents?
Sometimes,
I thought they were all candy.
I thought they were too, and then as a kid, you'd have like little trinkets, and I'd be like, I don't want a trinket, I want a piece of chocolate.
Like, what am I gonna do with a little?
We weren't an Advent family, so it was always like if
Classic.
a friend gave a gift of an Advent calendar type thing. So I do not know the rules.
What was the song?
Fun.
Did you listen to one?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I just shivered. I was so cold.
You shivered?
Yeah, it's 30 degrees outside. What's up, everybody? It is Monday, December 1st. It is going to be a good day. Going to be a good month. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. Woo, quite the holiday weekend to run through. Memphis football needs a new coach. Arkansas has their old coach, Lane Kiffin, really left Oxford and has once again heel turned into one of the sport's biggest villains. We'll get into all of that. We'll go through the college football coaching chaos. Conference championship games are set. We'll do our Dirty Dozen, 12 moments from the football weekend from the college slate and the NFL. The Grizzlies went 3-0 this holiday weekend, and Zach Edey has been absolutely game-changing. We'll talk about the Grizz. Gary Parrish will join us to discuss all the above and more. We'll also hit a little Hot Mess Express. It is a Monday. You know what we say? Happy birthday, Carl. Happy birthday to my dad. Commission's birthday.
Can I give a belated birthday to Senior?
Happy belated Senior.
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour. The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
Memphis. Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love.
We don't get mad, we get even.
Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and ringsider packages on sale next Friday.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out. Let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend, an excellent Thanksgiving. We are into the last month of the year. We have an insane amount of things to get to today, included in them Ryan Silverfield, no longer the coach at Memphis, now the head coach at Arkansas. Memphis needs a new coach. Lane Kiffin, no longer the coach at Ole Miss, now the coach at LSU. A whole lot of fire burning on the way out. We will, of course, hit all of the coaching chaos, but there is only one way that we start shows on the morning after a Memphis Grizzlies win. And that is with Memphis Grizzlies game-winning highlights. So let's hit them. Grizzlies Kings, and by God, that's Purdue Zach Edey's music. Edey, on his way to a career night, blocks Russell Westbrook at the rim. His first of 5 blocks. Grizzlies push the other way, leads to a Jalen Wells triple. The splash Wells and Cam Spencer last night, simply en fuego. A combined 4 of 4 from 3 in the first quarter. Grizzlies trailed 35-31 after the first. Spencer reminds yet again who the best shooter in his house was. He had 16 off the bench, 4 of 5 from 3. Meanwhile, Wells, a perfect 3 of 3 from deep. Grizzlies scored 62 in the first half, led by 3. Pushing their lead in the third quarter, it's Wells to a floating Edey, just a kiss off the glass. Later in the third, is it Shaquille O'Neal? Is it Shaq Edey? Whatever it is, it's unstoppable. Game tied. It's 87 all in the fourth. Not anymore. Jaren Jackson Jr., the spin, the jam. Jaren again, this time a little hezzy. Another slam. Jaren with 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And this is the play they call, whatever, Edey's down there somewhere. Simple law of physics. Zach Edey is too big. Finishes off the Vince Williams Jr. lob here. Grizz would be up 5 in the final minute. Cedric Coward falling. Zach Edey saves it. And the finish. Edey, 32 points, 17 rebounds, 5 blocks. As the Memphis Grizzlies win their third straight game, they take this one 115-107. What a Grizzlies weekend. CJ, when I asked you, what would the Grizzlies do when we left this show going into the holiday weekend, you said, maybe they'll win all 3. And by God, the Memphis Grizzlies won all 3. They had 2 double-digit comebacks. One over the Pelicans, one over the Clippers. They beat the Kings again last night. They finally won a game in the state of California. Not just 1, but 2 in Los Angeles and Sacramento. And it is not hyperbolic to say that Zach Edey has literally changed everything for this team. Now, you can take the caveat of the teams that they have beaten over this stretch where they have won 4 of their last 5 games and their 1 loss coming to a very good contending Denver Nuggets team. But those wins coming over the Kings, the Mavs, the Pelicans, and the Clippers, all sad, bad basketball teams at the moment. But the Grizzlies have beaten them, and they haven't slipped, and they've showed up, and they've gotten the professional wins, and Zach Edey has just been tremendous. He's been huge. He's been insert adjective here, and he's not just big. It is a bad day to be a Zach Edey hater because he has quite literally carried this team into a very different iteration of itself than the one we saw lose 9 of 10 games and seem to be grasping for any sort of identity. Zach Edey has given them one. Yeah,
he's playing like the biggest dude on the court. And
what a concept.
In those matchups, he is. The growth in his game is noticeable. He's stronger than what he was last year. You could ride Zach out of the paint, or certainly out of the spot where he wanted to be last year, getting the ball. So on the post up, you could have him posting up a bit further away from the basket, where he would have to take a couple of dribbles to get to the rim, and then by then you could swarm him or deflect the ball, and the handle wasn't quite all the way right, so it wasn't quite as effective. Now it's like, okay, I was the biggest dude in high school. I was the biggest dude in college. I'm still the biggest dude. So now, especially in that game last night, you saw Zach Edey just run straight to the rim, establish position, get the ball, and then I don't have to dribble. I can just turn and go straight into a hook shot before the double team gets here, and there's nothing anybody can really do to stop it. I can set this screen, roll hard to the rim, and these lobs to Zach Edey, they aren't good. They aren't good passes to Zach Edey, but it's just like, hey, just throw it up there.
I'm telling you.
I can get it. Just throw it up there. I can get it. Nobody else has stopped me from getting it. He's gone up there. He's gotten it, and then he's finished at the rim, on top of doing a tremendous job as a rim protector and a rebounder. It has been something that I think Grizzlies fans are and should be really, really pleased to see from Edey.
Yeah, I saw this stat from Sean Coleman coming out of the Clippers game, so I don't know the adjusted percentages, but would assume that it would be even more so given the matchup against the Kings last night and their lack of interior anything as they struggle without Domantas Sabonis. But opponents are attempting just 21% of their shots at the rim this season versus the Grizzlies and are making 55% of those shots. Last season, those numbers were 29% of shots, and they made 65%. So the power of Zach Edey as a rim protector when teams dare to try him, and as someone who people just don't even want to mess with, is already evidently clear. And last night is a situation where he can just dominate being the biggest, baddest player on the court, but I thought it was very promising going up against a center, and Ivica Zubac in that game against the Clippers, in a game where Zach Edey ultimately they credit him with 19 rebounds. At a time, I tweeted that he had 21 because our official box score keeper on courtside said 21. Whatever. He was just a monster on the glass and giving the Grizzlies second chance opportunities on the offensive side, preventing the Clippers from getting those opportunities. You had the game against the Pelicans where he was a plus 39, which was just insane. I was watching the end of the Pelicans game while running through the Minneapolis airport, and I was just screaming, Zach Edey, too big! And people were like, who is this weird woman talking about Zach Edey through the Minneapolis airport the night before Thanksgiving? Also screamed out loud on this Cedric Coward block at the end of that Pelicans game. But just in terms of him making his teammates better, you saw, I asked for an aggressive Jaren Jackson Jr. I think we have seen a better indication of that. The fourth quarter for Jaren, operating as a closer against the Pelicans last night. He was getting in the basket. He was throwing down dunks on mismatches of his own. And just when they're sending guys at Edey, it opens things up for Jaren Jackson Jr. It allows Jaren to sit more comfortably. And Jaren had 5 assists last night. And again, one of them was the throw the ball in the air and see if Zach Edey can get it with his big, long arms. And normally he can. But just being able to work within the system that Zach Edey elevates for everyone else. Vince Williams Jr. continues to be really solid. It's been nice to see Jalen Wells come out of that shooting slump. Some of his shot making against the Pelicans was impressive. He's been better from the three-point line. Things have come together in a very nice way for this Grizzlies team where the vibes were on the floor about 2 weeks ago. And this is the testament of a long 82-game NBA season. I thought it was fun seeing John Morant coaching up Jaren Jackson Jr. on the sideline. There was a clip that was going viral of Jaren talking, and then Cam Spencer is like tapping Jaw on the shoulder to ask him a question. He's been involved because at the end of the day, we have still only seen 6 minutes of basketball with the Grizzlies' 3 best players on the court in Ja, Jaren, and Zach Edey. And I think we can definitively say the 3 best players are Zach Edey in that mix. Like, you do have a big 3 when it comes to Zach Edey. And a lot of people were questioning, well, how much can Zach Edey really fix? And he's fixed a lot. And again, the opponents have been on the bottom side of the Western Conference standings, or the standings at large, and we will now have the opportunity to see the Grizzlies try to close out this road trip on Tuesday, tomorrow night, against the San Antonio Spurs. But things have been good. No NBA Cup knockout round for the Grizz. Disappointing. It's the closest they've ever come. Closest they've ever come.
Point differential, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That Lakers game will forever be a lost in the cup opportunities moment. But the 2 games added, you have the Jazz at home now on December 12th, and the Grizzlies will play the Clippers on the road on December 15th. Speaking of the Grizzlies game against the Jazz on the 12th and just all the home game opportunities coming up, great deals today. It is Cyber Monday. I don't know, CJ, if you participate in Cyber Monday, but I'm always looking for good deals coming off of the holiday weekend. And this is the biggest ticket deal of the season. The Grizzlies Cyber Monday deal is giving fans the chance to be at home for the holidays with up to 60% off tickets to Grizzlies games in December and January. The ticket deal is available for 1 day and 1 day only. So you have to lock in those tickets today. Visit grizzlies.com/cyber to get them. Grizzlies will next be in this building on Friday night. Grizzlies, great weekend. Great Memphis sports weekend. In its totality, I would say, because yesterday was just an insane day in the latest season of the college football carousel coaching turns. That was a mix-up of those words. The college football coaching carousel turns, and we had local investment with the news that Ryan Silverfield is the new head coach at Arkansas. Where were you when you found out that Ryan Silverfield was the new head coach at Arkansas, CJ?
This is something I thought, first off, I thought this was something that was going to happen back in October whenever they let Arkansas fire their coach. I thought they were going to pull Silverfield. But I was on my couch reading all the Lane Kiffin stuff when I found out Silverfield was going. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Back to this Lane Kiffin stuff, because this is gold right here.
It was such an odd, the attention was all on Lane Kiffin all weekend and continues to be so. That was the biggest story. But then you had this 30-minute window where there was a run on American coaches taking SEC jobs, first with Ryan Silverfield getting the Arkansas job, and then you had Florida announcing that they were hiring John Sumrall, and then Auburn hired Alex Golesh, and it literally happened in 30 minutes flat. And then it was back to, okay, how is this Lane Kiffin thing going to happen? Is he going to be able to address the team? Is there going to be a late switcheroo? And the answer was no. But with the Silverfield to Arkansas news, it was based on social media response, not your typical emotion meter, because you had Memphis fans seemingly tickled. Memphis fans treating the news as a celebration, and you had Arkansas fans pretty apoplectic about the fact that for the school that fired their coach the earliest in the SEC, they are now in a situation where they are hiring Ryan Silverfield, and there were even a dozen people, I don't want to give it more credit than it's due, but a dozen Arkansas fans using their First Amendment right to protest outside the athletic department at the University of Arkansas over Thanksgiving weekend because they were upset about this hire. What this really comes down to is a situation where the coach in question is in the middle of a failed season. And that's just a fact of the matter for Ryan Silverfield in Memphis this year, because Ryan Silverfield's last game at Memphis will now have been a Thanksgiving night loss to Navy, which means Memphis goes 4-4 in conference play with losses to Navy, UAB, ECU, and Tulane. And there was a time not so long ago that Memphis was in the driver's seat for a group of 5 spot in the college football playoff. And instead, it is a 6th straight year where Ryan Silverfield was unable to lead the University of Memphis to not just an American Conference championship win, but an appearance in the American Conference championship game. So not only 0 championships, but 0 title game appearances. And that's where you get into this situation where, despite the fact that Ryan Silverfield has won 29 games in his last 3 seasons at Memphis, and even though he went 5-2 against power conference teams, including a win over the very Arkansas team that he is now the head coach of, and even though he went 4-0 in bowl games, the patience was running out for this fan base. And I think that's where you saw fans take a moment of celebration, because now it leaves Memphis in a spot where they do not have to make perhaps a very difficult decision. They get to say, so long and good luck in your newer, bigger, higher-paying job. And it's a win. I wouldn't say, time will tell if it's a win-win, but for Memphis fans, they treated it significantly as a win. And I really do think that Ryan Silverfield ultimately in Memphis suffered from NGB syndrome. NGB means nice guy but, because he's a nice guy. He's a good coach, a solid coach, and you can sub out respectable coach. But he didn't make a conference championship game. You have all the resources in the American, and you didn't make a conference championship game. And that just became an overwhelming fact, an overwhelming but for the career of Ryan Silverfield. So I don't know if you call it a surprise. Like you said, CJ, when they made this move earlier in the season, when Arkansas fired their coach, there was rumblings and stumblings that, oh, maybe Ryan Silverfield could be someone who fills that in. I would think that given how the Memphis season ended, it felt like perhaps a barrier to him getting one of these SEC jobs, but ultimately Arkansas decides to still go that direction.
I think Arkansas went that direction because there were all of these high-profile job openings, and you had to hire somebody. You know, you can't be 12-20 against teams with a 500 record or better in the American and not make it to conference championship games in the 4 years you've been there, even though you've got the athletic budget that tops everybody else in that conference, and have me think that it's a good hire for a power football program. Because Memphis is spending more than everybody in the American, and they weren't dominant there. Arkansas, at best, might be on par. More than likely, slightly below the top teams in the SEC as it pertains to spending. Thinking about Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, you know the list. They're not there as it pertains to spending. So what type of results are you expecting him to be able to go out there and get for you? I've seen this floated around. I saw it and thought of this situation immediately. But this feels like when Pastner left, when it was, all right, got to get rid of Josh Pastner. It's just not working. And he was winning Conference USA at the time, or Big East, whatever the conference was he was in. He was winning that. And fans were like, yo, he's not doing enough. Got to get away from him. Had a bunch of players transfer, like high-profile players, before the transfer portal was a thing. When it mattered when dudes transferred, and it was always news when somebody transferred. Had a bunch of high-profile players transfer out. It was a program with a lot of drama, basketball-wise, a lot of drama around it, and fans were fed up with Pastner. It was like, yo, they can't fire him, though. He's done enough to stay, even though fans want him gone. And Pastner just like, don't worry about it. I'm going to Georgia Tech. Feels like the same type of situation with Silverfield, where it is, hey, fans are frustrated with said coach. Different reasons, but still frustrated with said coach, to the point of where, like, yo, would it behoove you to bring him back? Should you move on from him? And he said, you know what? Don't even worry about Memphis. I'm up out of here. I'm gonna do y'all a solid. I'm gonna go get this P4 money.
Let me help you.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna go get this P4 money. And so he left, saving the athletic department a tough decision, and saving a fan base an off season, if nothing else, an off season of frustration. Of the, hey, is Ryan Silverfield the guy? Can we win with him? How far can we go with this guy as a head coach? What's it going to take for our program to decide, hey, this isn't enough. 10 wins isn't enough. We got to be competing. We got to be in conference championship games. We got to be in them and winning them. What's it going to take for our program to go ahead and pull the trigger and make that decision? And now they don't have to worry about that. Now it is, hey, he left. He did us a service. I don't think it was a good hire at all for Arkansas. But we'll see. Time will tell.
Time will tell. He's now with John Calipari. The pictures of the two of them.
When you say it like that, you make it seem like he's gone on to glory. Like, oh, he's in the...
Well, it is an odd... People are like, two former Memphis coaches reunited at Arkansas.
They weren't
there
at the same
slightly
time.
different situations and separated by a lot of distance. But ultimately, they do have a similar one stop at the University of Memphis. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, get into some of the early names being floated around, because Memphis needs to make a hire fast, just because they made this move doesn't take away from the fact that the early signing period is on Wednesday, and there are a ton of schools that still need a head coach. One of those schools is not LSU because they hired Lane Kiffin. We'll get into the craziness of that situation from the weekend as well. Gary Parrish will join us a little later on. We'll talk more Grizzlies with him. That's all after a quick break.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back.
It's available in the Grizzlies Den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com.
Rip into bold color parallels,
Electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent.
Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites John Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Grizz Nation, Friday night just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and two 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Welcome back, welcome back. So Ryan Silverfield era at Memphis is over. The American has 4 open jobs with Silverfield at Arkansas, Summerall at Florida, Golish at Auburn, throw in Eric Morris, who is leaving North Texas for Oklahoma State. So the American championship game featuring 2 teams with 2 teams that are leaving. Both of those schools have said that those coaches can coach in the college football playoff if and when either North Texas or Tulane makes it into the college football playoff, being the American champion, highest ranked.
So why can't Lane coach in the playoff?
We'll get into that, CJ. That's the stupidest thing that became a thing. Before we get to that, some names that have been thrown out for the Memphis hire because they have to act fast. Not only are you going up against the other schools in the American, which not arguably, Memphis is the best job in the American Open with the resources and everything that it has and the money behind it and the NIL collective. All of that good news for Memphis going up against those other schools. But you also have Kentucky, who just entered the we need a new coach space because they fired Mark Stoops late last night. Longest tenured football coach in the SEC, gone. Winningest coach at Kentucky, gone after 13 seasons, included two of the school's 4 10-win seasons in 2018 and 2021. He's no longer at Kentucky. So when you get to some of these names, you have to throw Kentucky into the mix. I don't know when Penn State is going to hire a coach. Maybe someday, maybe tomorrow. Again, early signing day is on Wednesday. So the one name that has really kind of spun up some serious constant buzz is this Jerry Mack, who's the current head coach at Kennesaw State. One of the best stories in college football this year. First season at Kennesaw State, and he has taken a team that won 2 games last year to a 9-3 record and a spot in the Conference USA championship game. And this is a program that only started playing football 10 years ago and only launched into the FBS, I believe, back in 2023. He's a Memphis native. He played at Jackson State and Arkansas State. He was on Larry Porter's staff back in 2011. But he is one of these guys with local ties who has also proven to be a coach who can handle it at the Conference USA level. Now you would like to see that transfer over to Memphis, but his name has been thrown around in the mix. You have Will Stein, who's a real hot name at the moment, the offensive coordinator at Oregon. He's been there since 2023, 36 years old, former Louisville quarterback, and he has Kentucky ties, so perhaps the Kentucky opening is something that would entertain him. You have Charles Huff, the Southern Miss coach. I saw a couple players stand for Anthony Jones, who's the running backs coach at USC currently. I love Coach Jones. Covered him when he was the Cordova High School coach here, then ended up on Mike Norvell's staff, then was at TCU before USC. We'll be curious from a standpoint of if Memphis is looking for either someone with head coaching experience or the coordinator to head coach pipeline. But again, have to act quick. For everybody saying Hugh Freeze, stop. For everybody saying, oh, you should just bring back one of your old coaches. Doesn't Mike Norvell want to come back to Memphis? Stop. This isn't a fairy tale.
Why are we stopping that?
Because it's not going to happen.
But you can holler at Mike like Mike.
Sure, holler.
Mike, listen, they finna run you up out of there, dog. Come land safely with us. We got you. We got you. Oh,
yeah.
The buyout.
Come on, man.
He's got to be fired. Oh.
Although you do now have $1 million from Silverfield. Which is nice.
Jacob, you might be right. You hit Florida State up like, yo, we know y'all want to get rid of him. We know y'all don't want to pay the buyout. We'll take him if you guys just waive his buyout.
I like Dan Mullen.
Okay.
But again, someone who
it's got to be the right one.
Yeah.
Who do we know who's doing the hiring? Are they going hiring firm? Or are they doing? Say what, Jacob? Who's doing it?
Ed Scott is doing the hiring.
Okay,
it's huge.
Right.
It cannot be overstated. This is a huge hire for the future of not just Memphis football, but the University of Memphis as an athletic institution because of where things are in the current trajectory of how college sports are going, and Memphis wants a place in it. And in order to have a registered spot, you have to be good at football. You have to be relevant in football. And for Memphis, you have to be the best team in the American. So this is a huge hire. We will see just how quickly it moves. The Lane Kiffin story moved rather slow, but it finally came to its very dramatic conclusion. You know, did you ever watch The Bachelor, CJ, outside of that one season?
No.
We made you watch it early on in the show. Was Chris Harrison still the host then? You wouldn't remember. But he used to be the host of The Bachelor, and he would always be like, this season...
Chris Harrison?
Is that his name? It's been a long time.
Is it not Hanson? Am I getting my...
Chris Hansen's isn't he the...
Is he the one? Hey, come in and have a seat.
Yeah.
Have a seat for me right here.
What was that show called?
To Catch a Predator.
To Catch a Predator, thank you. I think it's Chris Harrison.
Come in, have a seat.
Oh, that's really going to bug me now.
Have a seat
Hold
right
on.
here.
Bachelor former host.
Who is it?
Chris Harrison.
Okay.
It's been a minute. He got fired. It was a weird ending for Chris Harrison. Anyway, he would always say, this season is going to be the most dramatic season yet. And I feel like we always, with every coaching carousel cycle, say, this carousel is going to be the most dramatic carousel yet. But really, we can just narrow that down to if Lane Kiffin is thinking about leaving a job, or a job is thinking about leaving him, it will be the most dramatic coaching change, coaching story that we have seen yet. And again, Lane Kiffin has entered villain territory as he left Oxford last night on an airplane to the chorus of boos and boo birds and a lot of middle fingers as he left Oxford for Baton Rouge and his new job at LSU. He is already meeting with recruits, and breaking news, he will not be coaching the Rebs in the college football playoff. And I would like to start there because, of course, he's
turn
not.
Turn the volume up.
You can turn the volume up.
Turn
this
the
is how it
volume
sounded
up.
when Lane Kiffin left yesterday.
Come on, man. They met this dude at the plane.
Of course they did.
Let him know. Boo.
Of course they did.
Angry.
When LSU plays at Ole Miss next year, they are going to be blasting Ludacris.
Is it there?
Yes.
Hey, you got to start the campaign now. Hey, folks, don't throw things on the field, please.
If you think they were throwing mustard bottles
they're going to throw
in
bricks.
Knoxville, don't throw bricks.
Don't throw things
Be
on
responsible.
the field. I understand. You have every right, if you're in Oxford, to be upset. Please don't throw things on the football field.
The story of this, I feel like it's gotten like mixed and mashed and all around. The story is that a coach of a team that is going to the college football playoff that won 11 games this season, that has a chance to compete for a national championship, is leaving his team before the playoff. It is as simple as that. And this notion that Lane Kiffin, who in his notes app post on social media yesterday about his decision and ultimately accepting the head coaching job at LSU, said, "I was hoping to complete a historic 6-season run with this year's team by leading Ole Miss through the playoffs, capitalizing on the team's incredible success and their commitment to finish strong, and investing everything into a playoff run with guardrails in place to protect the program in any areas of concern. My request to do so was denied by Keith Carter, despite the team also asking him to allow me to keep coaching them so they could better maintain their high level of performance. Unfortunately, that means Friday's Egg Bowl was my last coaching the Rebels." This was never going to work. There was no universe where Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss for LSU, an in-conference rival, and has the chance to keep coaching the team that he is leaving.
An actual rival also.
Yes.
Like they play for a trophy. Like you don't get to leave me to go there, to that person, to that school. An actual rival. Is it Mississippi State? No. But it's a big time rivalry. You don't get to do that and then be like, yo, let me stick around and coach though. I want to coach some more.
Like, this is not, as we just mentioned, a group of 5 coach jumping into a new tax bracket. This is SEC to SEC.
Rival to rival.
Rival to rival.
What's it called? Magnolia Bowl? I think it's Magnolia Bowl. Do they play for a Magnolia Trophy? Something like that. I do
have a new name. It might have a new name. Because for a coach who is not coaching some bottom level team or a bottom feeder of the SEC even.
Well,
this isn't a what's your well for?
I mean, does this not feel like that's what the perception
Well, that's how
of
he
them
views
is?
it. That's clearly how he views it.
I mean, historically.
And that's why they have the absolute right to be as mad as they want to be.
Oxford is a great time. Oxford on College Football Saturday, incredible. Some of the best fans in all of college football. Historically, what is Ole Miss?
But historically,
what is Ole Miss? And understand that taking the Lane Kiffin piece out of it,
yes,
like they're not.
Yes,
they're not LSU.
I know
they're not a top tier SEC team.
But could they be?
Could they be with Lane?
Yes, and in the new era of NIL and an athletic department that has committed to adapting with the times in ways that some traditional blue bloods of college football have been a little slower on the jump, and so you have this more level playing field, or kind of a new reset of who could be the biggest, baddest teams of the future. But Lane Kiffin saw an opportunity to go to one of the traditional, better programs than Ole Miss. Traditional.
If you're Lane, you look around and you say, oh, I've had success at Ole Miss. Ole Miss hasn't had a whole lot of success. It's not them, it's me. It's me.
It's me.
So I'm going to go someplace else with more money, better resources maybe potentially, and make it work over there. Now, there's an appropriate way to go about doing that. This isn't the most appropriate way. But hey, at the end of the day, You got to look out for number one, and that's you. And Lane Kiffin did that. If nobody else is going to look out for themselves, you know it's Lane Kiffin. You know Lane Kiffin got Lane Kiffin on lock. Like Lane Kiffin.
It's me, the Lane Kiffin story.
The Cat Williams, I forget the stand-up special where he talks about being in tune with yourself. You have to be your star player. Lane Kiffin is in tune with Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin doesn't care what any of us have to think. Nothing about what any of us have to say. Lane Kiffin's going to do what's best for Lane Kiffin at every single solitary turn. Ain't no sacrifice in his game. Ain't no taking a step back so somebody else can shine. Ain't none of that. Lane is like, oh, y'all want me? Is this a good spot? Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gone. He left Tennessee after 1 year in the dark.
In the dark of the night.
In the darkness of the night. At the twilight hour, just gone. Just like, nope, USC called me. I'm out of here.
And then USC fired him on a tarmac.
So
you can look at the performance reasons, but listen, there were a lot of personality issues that also led to that decision being made at USC. You think about how he left Alabama and Nick Saban. We talk so much about the rehabilitation program of Nick Saban, but it wasn't the happiest of departures when he left that staff. It's always been.
And why did he leave that staff?
Wasn't that when he went to FAU?
That is it.
Yes.
He was trying to do two jobs.
To go.
He was trying.
This man thinks he's Hannah Montana. He is trying to have the best of both worlds, and Hannah Montana is not real.
He was trying to do two jobs. He was trying to be coordinator for Alabama and getting ready to be head coach for FAU. And Nick Saban looked around. They're in the midst of a playoff run. They had 14 playoff, but it's still a playoff. Nick Saban looked around and said, "Hey, Lane, get the hell up out of here." Was it before the championship game? Why do I feel like it was before? I think it was right before the championship game where Nick Saban was like, "Hey, Lane, no, we can't. We can do a lot of different things over here. We can't do this no more. You got to go. Get your shit and get up out. You got to go home. You got to go someplace. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here."
I mean, listen, this is a sport. College football in its totality is one of the goofiest, dumbest, most dramatic, most emotional, most wonderful reality TV shows we have. And Lane Kiffin is one of its best characters. And he has now fully cemented himself back into villain status. He has made the heel turn. He tried the hero arc. He tried to tell you he does yoga. He tried to change his life in Oxford. But when all is said and done, that act gets snuffed out. And he has an opportunity at a bigger job, at a perceived bigger, better job. And he took it. And he left, and he tried to take all of his assistant coaches with him.
Oh, that's the part. That's the part where it
messy.
is. Where it is. All right, Lane.
You either get on this plane, or there's no spot for you.
We get it. You're going.
They didn't go.
You're going fine, but don't hit everybody with the ultimatum. Don't hold the program hostage. Like, okay, you think you guys gonna make it without me? Fine, I'm taking everybody with me. Let's go, team, coaches. Let's go. We're going to Baton Rouge, and everybody's like, no, wait, what are you talking about?
Some went.
Four offensive coaches went?
4, including coordinator, wide receivers coach.
Like, no, we're
Pete Golding stayed.
We're gonna
he stayed back. He's their new coach.
Yeah.
They just hired. They gave Pete Golding, not the interim, but the full time. They had to because, again, where else are you going right now? And that felt like the safest, best play, and it wins the moment. Because Lane Kiffin might be the villain. Ole Miss right now is the plucky team who lost its coach, who I think if you're a casual fan, you're like, hell yeah, I would love to see Ole Miss make an actual run at a national championship with Pete Golding as their head coach, with a team that wants to rally around this horrible, awful thing that was done to them in the middle of what should be one of the best stories in college football. Like, Ole Miss wasn't supposed to have this kind of season even. They're doing it with a Division II quarterback. They lost their quarterback. It was kind of a rebuild year.
Weren't they supposed to be?
No.
10 wins? Weren't they supposed to be? I thought they were.
No.
Maybe I was higher on them than everybody else, but I felt like we thought Ole Miss was going to be pretty good this year.
I do not remember it being definitively a perceived, this is going to be a special year in Oxford. And instead, it's their best season.
I don't think people, like casual fans and people who aren't in the Mid-South and aren't in Mississippi, I don't think they're familiar enough with Ole Miss football to understand everything. So I think because I know I had this thought when I was in Middle Tennessee. It's like, oh yeah, Ole Miss football is a pretty solid football program. And historically, they haven't been.
No.
And so I think that this year people were like, oh yeah, Ole Miss is going to be good because Ole Miss is always good. And it's like, no, Ole Miss ain't always good, man. Ole Miss ain't. They got, 6 10-win seasons since 2000? 4 of them being Lane, including 3 straight under Lane Kiffin. Like the run that they've been on this stretch, 6-year stretch, has been special. I think that we take that for granted in analyzing what Ole Miss football means to the greater context of college football. But understand, this is a program that, late to the party with integration and struggled mightily following that with other decisions that they made, struggled. And they just got relevant not relevant, because they're always going to be relevant. They just got good under Lane Kiffin consistently.
Yeah.
And
Hugh Freeze had his run.
Hugh Freeze had 1 10-win season.
But it wasn't, it was not this.
1 10-win season, then he
success.
had like a 9-win season, then everything hit the fan. So even you go back to Tuberville.
Right.
Tuberville did the same thing.
Same exact blueprint.
Gonna have to carry me out of here in a pond box or something like that? And the very next day he was Auburn's head coach. The very next day. I talk a bunch about the have and have-nots in college football and college sports in general. And it's usually divided along the power conference and the non-power conference. And then we've started dividing it around the SEC and the Big Ten, and then the SEC and then the ACC and Big 12. But in those conferences, in the Big Ten, in the SEC, there are tiers of prestige. There are tiers to how good you are. And it's funny to me, when it's not my team being involved, it is funny to see that tier sort of play itself out in real time. Where it is, Ole Miss is good. Oh, they're not LSU good though. Like they're not that.
It's like when you finally feel like you kind of have some money.
Yep.
And then you look up and you're like, oh, those people are rich.
Yep.
My biggest question, where is Juice Kiffin? Nobody knows. Apparently Juice is still in Oxford. I need to know if Juice ends up in Baton Rouge or if Juice was
is that
just a
his
side
dog
piece
or
all
is that
along. Unclear. Unclear.
The Ole Miss pay for the dog?
Reporting is telling me that he did not make the trip.
Oh, that's Ole Miss's dog then. You got to go repo your dog if you're Ole Miss.
And I'm taking the dog. What if Juice was given the option too? What if he's like, Juice, you're getting on this plane today, or you're not getting on this plane ever? And Juice said, woof, woof, woof. I don't want to go. Crazy times. We will talk to Gary Parrish about all of this after a quick break. GP will join us in studio when we come back.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
The biggest Grizzmas yet tips off with our biggest ticket deal of the season. The Grizzlies Cyber Monday deal gives you the chance to be home for the holidays with up to 60% off tickets to Grizzlies games in December and January. This ticket deal is available for 1 day only. So lock in for the holidays at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/cyber to get your tickets today. The next Grizzlies home game that you can have an opportunity to get those cheap tickets for Friday, December 5th against the Los Angeles Clippers. Gary Parrish, host of the Gary Parrish Show, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Grind City Media, joins us every Monday, and he joins us now.
I'm here now.
How about that weekend? What a weekend.
What a weekend that was, you know?
What a weekend. It could mean so many things. And we were just talking during the break, and we'll lift the curtain on the broadcast production decisions. But you asked me a question that I almost asked you last night when I was trying to plan out today's show. What do you lead with on a day like today?
Right.
Because you do have a Grizzlies team that had a great 3-game winning streak over the holiday weekend, and Zach Edey has been incredible and is picking up steam from a national perspective on what he gives to this Grizzlies team as they've made quite the turnaround over the last 2 weeks. Then you have the Lane Kiffin of it all, which is the biggest story in sports.
Right.
One of those stories that has transcended outside of just the sports world. And if you went down the street and asked a random person their thoughts on Lane Kiffin, they'd probably have some sort of opinion to give you. And then you also locally have Ryan Silverfield, the head coach of the University of Memphis, now former head coach of the University of Memphis, going to Arkansas. 3 leadable stories that you have to pick which one you talk about first.
That's right.
My job's easy because I had highlights, so I just let the highlights dictate a little Grizzlies off the top.
Right. No, these are things that I think about probably more than I should. But I had these same thoughts last night. That's why I brought it up with you during the break. Like, hey, so how did you decide? Take me through your thought process of deciding to lead with Grizzlies and then get to Ryan Silverfield. Because I do think this was an interesting day. Typically, like, we know where we're at.
Right.
The Grizzlies are on a 3-game winning streak. Zach Edey was amazing, doing things that are rarely done. That's where you start. Except I really do believe that the biggest story in this morning is the combination in this market of Lane Kiffin and Ryan Silverfield both taking jobs yesterday under wildly different circumstances. Like, Memphis fans and Arkansas fans both seem upset. Ole Miss fans seemed upset. LSU fans, I guess, are thrilled because they got what they want. But that felt like the biggest thing. And then I've got to also think through, like, and none of this is important, but like Michael Eaves is there at 10:20.
Yeah.
What am I going to talk to him about? By definition, 5 more things is supposed to be 5 things we haven't talked about yet. So if I don't get the Lane Kiffin and Ryan Silverfield in the opening segment, I'm probably got to talk to Michael Eaves about at least Lane Kiffin, and then I don't have time to say what I want to say about it. And so, again, not important, but
I have you coming into studio, so then I know no matter what, it circles back on all of the above.
So that's
here
perfect.
we are.
So I will open with thoughts on Ryan Silverfield, Lane Kiffin, and then we will get to the Grizzlies and celebrate that accordingly.
Well, you are a Mississippi resident.
Sure.
And also a Memphian.
Yes.
I give you both titles.
Yes.
So you get the boots on the ground reporting of how those in Mississippi feel about the happenings with Lane Kiffin. I do think it's all of it. From Silverfield going to Arkansas is very much a piece of this because it's all these SEC jobs. And one of those was the LSU job, and that gets taken by Lane Kiffin. But it, again, has a sport where we are entering what should be the biggest part of its season coming up on conference championship games and the seeding of the college football playoff. And instead of the games, the biggest story is Lane Kiffin.
Right.
And the biggest story is a coaching change.
Right.
And it feels like that happens a lot in the world of college football.
We have coaching changes in the middle of seasons or before seasons are completed all the time. Mike Norvell was one of those. But this is unique. This is one of one. This is unprecedented. In part because the 12-team playoff is new, in part because of the transfer portal and when it opens. Like, Lane Kiffin didn't create this mess on his own, but I really do think he's among the only people who would have taken it to this place.
He somehow made it messier. It's a messy situation made messier by a messy person.
That's right. And I said this last night on the Allen College Basketball Podcast. Obviously, I live where I live, and so I'm going to get asked about this situation all the time. Like, my wife's friends come in town for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. What do you think about Lane Kiffin? Like, it's just the starter conversation for the past week. And what I consistently said was it's pretty obvious he wants this LSU job. If he didn't, it's crazy to put your fan base through this. He talks about wanting to be focused, but as long as this is hanging above you, you can't possibly be focused the way you'd like. Your players can't possibly be focused the way you like. So, like, I can connect some dots here. Mm-hmm. He clearly wants the LSU job. Otherwise, this is crazy. Because I get using jobs for leverage, offers for leverage. I've done that in my own career in certain places. That's smart. But he had all the leverage and could have done this with Ole Miss at any point over the past week or two and been the highest paid coach in college football or something close to that. So this wasn't about maximizing leverage anymore. This was about he was trying to figure out how to, for lack of a better phrase, have his cake and eat it too. He wanted to see the season through and then be the head coach at LSU. And I guess what I told people up until Friday was I think he wants to go to LSU, and I just think reality is going to hit him in the face. And he's going to realize at some point Friday night or Saturday, whenever, there is no way to continue coaching Ole Miss and be the LSU coach. And it just means the timing doesn't work, and I can't pull the trigger on this because to pull the trigger would require me to do something that I don't believe most people would do, which is walk away from a real legitimate SEC caliber championship contender with the whole world still in front of you and the possibility of cementing the greatest season in Ole Miss football history, with the opportunity, as unlikely as it might be, to win a national championship. I don't think most people would walk away from that. I still just underestimated who he is, because I thought at the end of the day, even he would say, I can't do this. I'm sorry, I just can't. And clearly I was wrong. And I think that is if not a one-of-one story, it's pretty close to that. Basketball coaches are presented with this opportunity all along to make sure people understand what we're talking about here. This would be the equivalent, more or less, of a basketball coach leaving before the Sweet 16. That's a non-starter. Like Greg Marshall, just to name one of a million, was presented with the opportunity to agree to be the UCLA coach while Wichita State was on a run to the Final Four. And not only would he not do that, he wouldn't even talk to them. He just said, if you can't wait on me to finish this, I understand, but then we just can't do this. If you wait, we're probably going to get married, but I cannot walk away or even commit to that until this is done. And they said, we can't wait. And everybody said, we understand, you got it. Let's just see you next time. That happens all the time. Yeah. For Lane Kiffin to do this is, it's a bad look. And I started to say he'll have regrets, but I don't know. People like him might just not have regrets. Right. There are that's a blind spot for me because I carry around regrets every day. And it's hard for me to not look at people and assume they'll feel the same way as I. But he just might be a different dude who it doesn't register with him. I know these people in my own life. Like, I look at them and I go, how can you live this life or not regret these things? And they
operate differently.
It doesn't, they don't carry that around with them.
No, this was a him decision.
Yeah.
You can cite the calendar all you want, and the calendar is screwy. But that's the fault of the powers that be in college athletics not fixing it and not recognizing college football as a business. And there should be stipulations in place where coaches, players, if you value your playoff system, if you value a championship, there should have never been an opportunity for a coach to walk away from his team. But because there is, the onus is on Lane Kiffin because he did it.
You can't go try to hire Steve Kerr tomorrow.
No.
You can't go try to hire Mike Tomlin tomorrow.
No.
This is a problem unique to college athletics. And Dan Wolken at Yahoo's got a great piece on this. Like, these guys send lobbyists to Washington every month and are constantly talking about the big threats to college athletics, and they act like it's the transfer portal or NIL.
Paying players.
You know what the big threat is? In advance of what should be an incredible 12-team playoff, one school came and got another school's coach, and the byproduct of that is that you have lessened your playoff. You've just had a man tell you it doesn't matter as much as you keep trying to tell us that it does. That's the real problem with your sport. Yeah. It's not the Memphis running back getting paid, $250,000. The real problem with your sport is that in the middle of a season that you tell us is important, in the middle of a year that these student athletes will remember forever, and you tell us those are the most important people in the play. You just had one of your schools come get another school's coach and upend everything and perhaps ruin what should be the greatest sports day in the history of the state of Mississippi. That's a problem with your sport. And you could fix it if you wanted to, but they don't seem interested in that because nobody's ever really cared about coaches bouncing around and making millions of dollars. They just care about players bouncing around and making millions of dollars. Try to argue that logically consistent.
Let's go to the Memphis side of things, where Ryan Silverfield is now the coach at Arkansas, and Memphis is in a position where they will be making one of, if not the biggest hiring decisions in Memphis athletics history, not just football, but what this means for the school as a whole. It seemed to me, and again, social media is not always real life, but in talking with real life people and also evaluating through social media, it was a situation where Memphis fans were thrilled.
Yeah.
And an opportunity to say thank you for 2 10-plus win seasons. Now this season has been very disappointing. And I was reflecting on when Ryan Silverfield took over and the players loved him and they wanted him to get that job, and being at the Cotton Bowl where Memphis at least was in a game with Penn State, even though Micah Parsons was destroying their soul and they ultimately lose. And I'll never forget Silverfield walking to those fans in Dallas and shaking all of their hands on his way out. And it was the start of his tenure. And now on the way out, there was a sentiment, a growing sentiment, a loud sentiment of this has run its due. This has run its course. The Memphis Tigers have not been to a American Conference Championship game with Ryan Silverfield as the head coach. And it was going to be really difficult to move on from him because he was still, by and large, a successful coach.
And he had an automatic rollover in the contract that every time you get the 9 wins, it automatically it adds a year, and 9 wins shouldn't be hard to get to at Memphis under these circumstances. So I think, and I don't like all the celebrating. Like,
I don't either, because it feels odd.
That guy lived here for 10 years, 6 years as the head coach, and he worked hard, and he didn't embarrass the university. He didn't embarrass the football program. Don't ever forget that Larry Porter went 3-21 over 2 years at Memphis this century. All right. It is possible to run that thing into the ground. We watched somebody do it. Even in basketball, you see it sometimes. Kenny Payne at Louisville. Like, Louisville's one of the best basketball brands in the history of the sport, ran it straight into the ground. So don't take for granted that Ryan Silverfield went 50-24 through 6 years, went 4-0 in bowl games. Like, that's not guaranteed.
Right.
And it's possible the next guy doesn't do that well. But he should have done better. And the frustration had set in, and it was going to be hard to continue to sell him to the fans when you have an athletic director who consistently says, we have the best funded men's basketball and football programs in the American, and then you go, okay, let's go. And then you go, why aren't we playing in the, how did we go 4-4 in the American again? Why have we never played in the conference championship? It doesn't help when his predecessor went to the conference championship game 3 straight years, won it the last year, then left. Since then, the league has gotten worse.
Right. I was going to say, it's not the years of beating
You don't have to beat
UCF
Houston,
and Cincinnati and
Central Florida,
Houston.
Cincinnati anymore. Like, the league got worse. You are the best funded football program in the league, according to everybody. Dan Wolken calls you the best football job outside of the power conferences, and you just finished 6th. And in 6 years, it was 2 third-place finishes, 1 fourth-place finish, 1 sixth-place finish, 1 seventh-place finish, 1 eighth-place finish. 50-24 is better than it could have been, but 50-24 is not what it should have been. And so I am more of the opinion of, I don't want to celebrate his departure. That would feel weird to me. But do I think yesterday was probably a net positive for the University of Memphis? Yeah, probably. It gets you out of a contract that was going to be out of a contract, and it gets you out of a contract that was going to be tough to get out of, and it allows you to sell something new to your fan base that was clearly craving something different.
How does Arkansas sell it?
I don't know.
They have an uphill battle.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, you just hired a coach on a 3-game losing streak in the American. And I know you can look big picture and talk about, hey, look who Florida just hired, and look who this just hired, and now look at Ryan Silverfield's record against those guys, and blah, 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 blah. But this is tough. This seems like the type of thing that I was texting with a coach yesterday about just sort of all of this stuff. And we sort of settled into a conversation of, you see all these American AAC coaches get these jobs yesterday, including Ryan the guy who just finished 6th in the American got an SEC job. Like, how does that happen? I think it's the power conferences are the leash is so short now, and the margins are so narrow that we're firing people very quickly. Like Hugh Freeze just got done in 3 years, right? We're firing people very quickly, and then you got to replace them. Where do you go to find these guys? So you're either doing a retread, a mid-major coach like from the American, or some hotshot coordinator, and so Arkansas looks around and it's probably like, all right, where are we in the pecking order of schools trying to hire right now? Behind Florida, behind LSU, behind Penn State, we were behind Virginia Tech, and they're taking the Tulane coach. They're taking the U.S. Who's next? Right. I guess it's the guy who's 50-24 at Memphis. It could work out. I'm not saying it won't. Like Josh Heupel wasn't great in his last year at UCF and has done a pretty good job at Tennessee. Josh Heupel was not as good at UCF as his predecessor. This could work, but it's a tough sell. It's not the type of thing you can sell at a press conference, I don't believe. You're going to have to sell it with recruiting classes, transfer portal classes, and on the field stuff.
From a sell job, it's so interesting because head coach experience matters. Yeah. And it will be easier for a team to sell someone with less head coach experience. Whoever gets hired at the University of Memphis, you can shape it in whatever way you want, but it's hope. And hope is sellable. Hope is electric.
Whoever Memphis hires will not have just lost to UAB.
Yeah.
With a backup quarterback and an interim coach.
Yep.
Whoever Memphis hires will not just have lost 3 straight games or went 4-4 in the American. The next hire might not be as good as Ryan, but it'll be a much easier thing for Memphis fans to get excited about.
It guarantees nothing.
It guarantees nothing, but it's easier to get if I show you a piece of paper that's got a bunch of stuff on it that you don't like, or just hand you a blank piece of paper and say you can imagine what it could be, it's more fun to imagine what it could be, and that's what this is. Perhaps that's a poor analogy, but you get the point.
Last but not least, in our 1, 2, 3 of important things that happened, the Grizzlies have won 3 games in a row.
Yes, I noticed.
Zach Edey looks like an unstoppable force, especially against a Kings team that just simply put.
We should play them more.
I've often said this. If you could just scrap the schedule
and just schedule
the Kings. Yes. We've also had some pretty good games against the Mavs.
I would love to get the Mavericks in here as often as possible.
I'd even throw, what? Just take the Pelicans, the Clippers. Take this slate of teams that the Grizzlies have faced.
Yes.
And play them over and over again.
Put it on repeat.
Yeah. Occasionally take a trip east, like add the Wizards.
It's like you buy a new album and there's like this little 3-song stretch right in the middle, and you're like, man, that's the 3-song stretch I like. I'm gonna put that one on repeat. Let's just do that over and over again. That's the way I feel about the Mavs and the Pelicans and the Kings, and I'm willing to throw the Clippers in there if you are.
I'm willing to throw the Clippers after.
They seem to hate themselves.
They sure do. How do you evaluate it though? Because you never want to get too lost in the recency bias sauce.
Oh, we do it all the time.
But this Grizzlies team looks like a different team.
Yes.
And part of it can be attributed to the opponents, sure.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said about a team that surely feels like it has started developing an identity. And I think that was one of the biggest concerns early on, is it just felt lost, an identity lost. And that's one of the scariest places to be in sports. And now since Zach Edey has returned, outside of the game against the Nuggets, where he left early on and the Grizzlies had a lead against a contending Denver team when Zach Edey ended up leaving that game with a head injury, they've been winning.
Yes.
And finding ways to win down the stretch.
I think some of it is clearly the schedule. You'd be silly to not acknowledge that.
You're playing teams that are more likely to give up 17-point leads, 16-point leads.
Yeah, I think you have to acknowledge the schedule. Otherwise, you're getting caught up
willfully ignorant.
You're willfully ignorant and probably doing the same thing a lot of us did last year, where it was like, just look at the record. They're second in the West. And it's like, yeah, look at the record. Dig in. The schedule's about to enhance, and things are perhaps going to turn in the way that they turn.
Right.
So, yeah, schedule related, but two things can be true at the same time.
Yes.
They are winning in part because the schedule has eased up. They are also winning in part because Zach Edey is making a massive difference. And it's not just the 32, 17, 5 and the way you can frame that. And he's the first to ever do this since this and that and whatever. It's just him being on the court. Him being on the court changes the way the basketball game
When he's
goes.
not on the court,
I mean,
you
see
can
the
tell
numbers.
immediately.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of those you can see it, and then you can dig into the numbers and be like, oh, he needs it's
be
not
on the court
it's-
as much as possible.
It's not good when he's not on the court, and so perhaps that's not the best explanation. The best explanation for how this got off to just a ridiculous start is you reached a point, you were never whole, and then you reached a point where you were down 4-point guards, and there was friction between the coaching staff and at least one of the best players, and blah, 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 blah. But some of it was just, not having that guy available. And they would have had a different record if he'd have just been available. And now he is, and you wait for the next train of people to, move their way up the status report. But this is what we've talked about for weeks now. Just winning changes things.
Yes.
Just having success, just scoring more points than the other team changes the way it looks, the way it feels, the way you feel about yourself. This is true all the way down to youth sports. Success can lead to a lot of good stuff. And they're tasting that right now for the first time under this coach for the first time this season, and that's obviously a great thing.
Right, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yes.
dunking on guys' heads in the fourth quarter. That feels like a choo-choo train of, hey, this feels better than it felt 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then back it up. I know it feels like a million years ago, but the Cedric Coward block in the final. There's just all
guys
this.
that I screamed out loud in the Minneapolis airport.
I mean, that's the. I think I was in studio, and you just, you got a million
those
things.
moments.
Yeah, it's just.
And in a long weekend of sports happenings, I'm still thinking about the Cedric Coward block in the Pelicans game.
Yeah, so it was just all of it. Just things are better now than they were, and perhaps that's just a reminder that NBA seasons are long. There are often ups and downs. Unless you're Oklahoma City, unless you're the very best or the very worst, there's going to be ups and downs, and we're experiencing an up right now. I'll take it.
And the tiers are the very worst.
Yes,
the Grizzlies have, at this point in time, beaten the very worst.
Yes.
So that is a net positive to take.
And here's the thing, that's not the goal. Hey, let's just beat the bad teams. That won't get you anywhere significant.
Yeah.
But that is enough to probably get you in the playoffs.
Yes.
To probably get you into the postseason, to the play-in.
play-in.
If you can just keep beating the bad teams.
Not the cup, though.
Then there will be 5 teams that finish below you. And that's all it takes.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's my
Coming
pleasure.
What a weekend.
What a weekend that
What a
was.
weekend.
Can you believe that weekend?
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll keep talking about the weekend because college football playoff rankings should be interesting when they come out tomorrow ahead of conference championship weekend. We'll do the Dirty Dozen plays from the college football and NFL slate over the weekend that defined the football weekend that was after a quick break.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back. It's available in the Grizzlies Den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites John Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day. Welcome back. Is it on?
Yes, on.
Oh.
Yeah. I caught the second welcome back.
Welcome back.
I was too busy
I
over
always
here.
do too.
I was
so.
over here on the Cyber Monday deal trying to get it. It just went live.
Oh, thank you.
It just went live. So I was over here
Get
trying
those
to get my tickets.
60% off tickets.
Love 60% off.
I love deals. But the older I get, the less I capitalize on them.
Speaking of deals, are we getting deals for pennies? Because I've got a whole bunch of pennies at my house.
Okay.
I just in passing, either on social media or on the TV, I think I heard that some places were giving you deals if you came in with pennies. Because they're thirsting for the pennies.
Aren't they going out? So people want to collect the pennies before they're
No.
completely devalued?
Everything is still with the pennies in mind. So things still cost like 53 cents or whatever. So they're not making them anymore. The mint isn't making them. But the ones that are in circulation are still in circulation. So if you have some that aren't in circulation, you got to put them things into circulation. And I think that some places, I thought I saw that. I'm going to have to look into it. Was wondering if you heard it. Thought some places were like, hey, bring us your pennies, please. We'll give you stuff.
You ever go to the mint?
No.
You ever took a field trip to the mint?
No.
I went to the mint and then the old spaghetti factory. It was a great day.
Oh, in Colorado?
Yeah.
Wait, does every state have their own mint?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
I've also
I don't
been
even
to
know
the,
I don't even know where Tennessee's
been
mint
to
is.
the mint in either Tacoma or Seattle when I was a child as well. I've been to 2 mints. You watch the coins be made. You watch the money be printed. It was a very fun time. All right, let's do our Dirty Dozen. 12 plays from college football and the NFL to define the football weekend that was. Included in those were everything that happened with Lane Kiffin and everything that happened with Ryan Silverfield and the coaching carousel. As for the actual games, going into next weekend's conference championship games, and we will get the most recent college football playoff rankings tomorrow evening, feels like we have 10 locks, which means 2 wild cards. And given the events of this weekend, everything feels very interesting with those wild cards because your locks would be Ohio State. Sorry, CJ. Ryan Day finally beat Michigan.
We don't have to talk about that. How about Lane Kiffin going to LSU?
Indiana, and you have Ohio State, Indiana, 1 versus 2 in the Big Ten championship game. Georgia, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, even though they lost to Texas. Oregon, Ole Miss, unless they do something funky with this coaching stuff, which they should not, and Oklahoma. And then whoever wins the American, and either whoever wins the ACC or James Madison. Because if James Madison is ranked, there is a universe where 2 group of 5 teams make it into the college football playoff, which will just have the SEC and the Big Ten biting their tongue and figuring out how to get that changed in the future so that it never, ever, ever, ever happens again.
I mean, this is the perfect storm of what they've been warning people about. It's like, hey, go to 16. Keep the automatics, but go to 16. Because we could end up in a funky situation like this.
Well, that's why one of my plays from the weekend.
Did you go through all 10?
Those are the 10.
Okay. I missed
And then we'll get to the at-large wild cards. But the reason for the James Madison potential is because of what happened in the ACC, where one of my plays that I sent was SMU missing a potential game-tying field goal against Cal. I was in this area. I realized I should have gone to Cal SMU. Why Chris and I didn't get your butts off the couch and make it to a crazy ACC game, you know? That's what they say you should do on Thanksgiving weekend. And all the 35 Cal fans who stormed the field after and created a very scary situation for the sideline reporter who was doing the post-game interview, who almost was swallowed by those 35 fans. But anyway, Cal beating SMU took SMU out of the ACC championship game, sent it into chaos mode in the ACC, which sends Duke to the ACC championship game. Unranked Duke. And if Duke were to beat Virginia in the ACC championship game, I don't think Duke makes the college football playoff. And this is your reminder. People often get kind of caught up in they miss the semantics of how this all works. It is not the 5 power conference automatics get in to the college football playoff. It is the highest ranked conference champions. So if the ACC's conference champion is unranked, and you do have a ranked team in an American team in Tulane or North Texas, and you do have a ranked team in James Madison, then you are in a world where the ACC potentially gets left out of the college football playoff, which would be
tremendous.
Wild.
Good stuff.
Sorry, Miami. You are definitively the best team in the ACC. You're not even playing in the championship game, and you are a very at-large team to make it into the college football playoff.
The fact that Miami still sits behind Notre Dame in the CFP is insane.
Do you think it switches tomorrow?
It has to. They have to say, because logically you can do that. You can say, hey, we gave Notre Dame credit for beating this Pitt team. Miami just played them. Miami also beat them. So now they've got the same record. Miami beat Notre Dame head to head. Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame, right? Like you can talk your way out of that conundrum. We don't.
Conundrum is the
I don't
word.
know, and you made it a conundrum. There's no reason for it to be a conundrum. I don't know. Is James Madison ranked in the CFP? Because that's where we talked about this. We talked about this off air, where the CFP might try and do something weird and be like, "Yeah, Duke is ranked after a win in the ACC championship game. Duke is ranked. You keep James Madison unranked, and then you can just finagle it to be where Duke is ranked ahead of George Madison when the final polls come out. But if the AP is in the indicator." And it's not because it's a bit different. James Madison, Tulane, and North Texas are all ranked. And I do not believe Duke is in the receiving votes category.
No.
Like, that's some good stuff right there. Oh, man.
Duke is 7-5. They lost to Illinois, Tulane, Georgia Tech, UConn, and Virginia. What a team. What a moment.
They're the champions of North Carolina, and they're going to the ACC championship game. Nothing else matters.
No.
That's exciting right there. I love that.
Now, Virginia's ranked 18th. So if Virginia wins, it's a very normal thing to include.
We're fine.
It does create a fun, what if this happened?
Get 2 non-powers in? Oh, that would be incredible.
The at-large teams, Miami, Texas, after beating Texas A&M, Steve Sarkisian said it would be a disservice to our sport if Texas is left out of the playoff.
Yeah, you know what else is a
Perhaps
disservice?
you shouldn't have lost to Florida.
That's a disservice to the sport. There you go.
Step 1, don't lose to Florida. Step 2,
go.
maybe you make it to the college football playoff. I don't know. Alabama survived Auburn. Got a little dicey there down the stretch. You have the situation, what if BYU beats Texas Tech? What would that do for 2 Big 12 teams to potentially make it? And then the Miami-Notre Dame situation. But it stays interesting as we enter this. And poor Vanderbilt.
That's my play.
You're going to put Vanderbilt in?
That's my play.
That is your
Vanderbilt.
play.
This is when I knew Vanderbilt, Tennessee was going to be a bit different. This run right here. Early in the game, Vanderbilt in the red zone, decides to run the ball. They get a hat on a hat, and everybody looks to be the same size. And then they get a dude on the edge who just flat out outruns everybody in orange. It's like, yo, Vanderbilt doesn't do this. Vanderbilt doesn't just flat out outrun players. Vanderbilt doesn't have the athletes to do that.
This Vanderbilt
does. Buckle up. It's going to be a rough day in Knoxville.
Diego Pavia tried to warn people. No one wanted to listen.
Yeah, because
he tried to warn people.
It's Diego.
They were going to run all over Tennessee this year. Going to run them. Diego Pavia for Heisman. Give it to me. Unless Mendoza has some wild Heisman-like moment in the Big Ten championship game, I would love to see Diego Pavia.
So you go Pavia, then Mendoza?
I'd probably do Pavia, then Jeremiah Love, then Mendoza. But yeah, any collection of those three. Pavia's had 2. Jacob said Julian Sayin. Of course he is in that mix. He's very good. Ohio State has a good team.
I don't think he's that good. I think those receivers are incredible.
He is made very good by his receivers. I'm not trying to be a Julian Sayin hater. I just like those 3 players more than Julian Sayin, and that's just on me. And obviously, for Diego Pavia, 4 straight games with 400 yards, first 10-win season in school history. Like, what he did from a transformative standpoint at Vanderbilt feels worthy of getting a Heisman, along with the statistics that he put up this season. What were your other college football players?
Bayou Classic, Grambling, Southern, look up, halftime. Who's out there?
Yeah,
Gorilla's out there performing at halftime. One of the great classics in the nation right now. There she go, getting it in. Shout out to Glow. Shout out to the Bayou Classic in New Orleans. Like that was fun to look up and see. And I'm glad that we've started carrying the halftime performances as well on the TV. Figured out a way to make that work. But yeah, shout out. Yeah, Glow.
Yeah, Glow. Let's talk about what a weird NFL season this is. Week 13 saw some surprising losses. Rams, Eagles, Ravens, Colts. They all lost. Broncos won last night. But again, I ask, did they? They did, technically, but did they really? I did want to start with the current number 1 seed in the NFC, though, just as we all predicted, the Chicago Bears. The Bears are the 1 seed, and yet the Bears have the 8th best odds to win the conference per DraftKings. Bears beat the Eagles, and Ben Johnson took his shirt off, which is my play of the game. In the words of Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, man of the people. Bears won 24-15. They are 9-3. It is December 1st. They are the 1 seed. They have clinched their first winning season since 2018. They also got free hot dogs in all of Chicago thanks to the win and Ben Johnson taking off his shirt. But they just ran all over the Eagles.
Ben Johnson takes his shirt off. You're like, oh, look, this is fun.
CJ takes his shirt off and says, security!
Now, do you understand your hypocrisy?
Yeah, it's different workplaces. It's not my fault that the locker room has been considered a place where you can take your shirt off in celebration, and the office is not.
Is this an office?
This is a real life office.
This right here.
This is technically a studio.
Exactly.
So the studio is also a place where you cannot take your shirt off.
Okay, whatever. Fine. How much faith do you got in the Bears?
No, not a great question for every single team in the National Football League this season. How much faith do you have in fill in the blank? I'm not really sure. I'm not quite sure. But I saw a team that bullied Philadelphia in that game.
Okay.
Both on the run game, bullied them defensively, made the tush push look vulnerable. But I don't know how much I believe in them.
All right.
How much do you believe in the Bears?
None. What do you mean?
Okay, mine's a little greater than none.
They're going to have to do it before I believe it. There are a bunch of teams that are in that category. One of them, the Panthers, I think you've got to play from.
I think we both sent picks from
but
the
we can
Panthers.
go yours first because mine happens after that.
Okay, well, Matthew Stafford threw 2 interceptions, and we'd been at the point where Matthew Stafford had the record-setting 28 straight touchdown passes without an interception. He had only thrown 2 picks all season before this game, and this was his first of the day against the Carolina Panthers. Matthew Stafford, picked off right in the middle of the end zone. The Panthers of Carolina, yes, those Panthers beat the Rams 31-28. That is how the Bears have emerged into the number 1 seed in the NFC. One of the more surprising losses of the season. I really did feel like this was just one of those days for the Rams, and maybe it's the kind of game that you want to get out of the way. How often is Matthew Stafford going to turn the ball over 3 times in one game? 2 picks and a lost fumble that ultimately sealed it for the Panthers down the stretch.
You hope not a lot, but clearly he's done it. Here's the one that I sent because this was a pick 6 one. And 2, that one was like very clearly Matthew Stafford's fault.
Yes.
It was thrown behind a tad bit late, and it resulted in a pick 6. Matthew Stafford, before your interception, the one you showed was first. Matthew Stafford had thrown 28 touchdowns consecutively without throwing an interception before that moment right there. And he had just passed Tom Brady when he did that. So Tom Brady had that record. Now Matthew Stafford has it. And after doing that, he threw that interception in the red zone off a quirky deflection off a dude's helmet, and then he threw that pick 6. The Panthers, much like the Bears, like, oh, they are winning games. They have impressive wins. The records aren't the same, but the Panthers look to be a playoff type team. They just came off of that win, 2 weeks ago against the Packers. They got this win against the Rams. They do a great job taking the ball away. Bryce looks like he is serviceable plus, right? Like he looks almost good in stretches and moments. You got Hubbard running the ball real hard, toting that damn tater. Ask me how much I believe in the Panthers.
And obviously Rico has been.
Yeah, Rico as well. I don't believe in them at all.
No.
I don't.
They're in a tier under belief.
But would it surprise me?
But they're 7-6.
No,
they could win the NFC South.
It wouldn't surprise me. They could have a good record and win the NFC South. Right? They're not going to be 7-10 and win the AFC South. They're not going to be 8-9 and they could be an 11-win AFC South type of team. And it's like, I still don't believe in them. Craziness.
One of my other plays was from Sunday Night Football, where the Broncos did beat the Commanders in overtime. The play of the game, though, came courtesy of Treylon Burkes. Submit this for Catch of the Year. This was an insane grab from Treylon Burkes. Back at oh, God. Even got the OBJ stamp on socials because we do that every time there's a sick one-handed grab. Very cool. He just had finger surgery 14 days ago, so he was doing it with the taped up finger as well. His first touchdown since 2022. The Broncos still win. We talk a big game for this Broncos defense, which has been very, 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 very good and has been a life raft for the Broncos. They kind of got carved up by Marcus Mariota last night. Nick Bonito made a hell of a play to bat down the 2-point conversion attempt at the end of that game. But Marcus Mariota played really well for the Commanders yesterday. And again, teams that have good records, teams that have good moments, teams do I believe in? That's how I feel about the Denver Broncos. And it pains me.
Does it?
It does.
You're smiling a whole lot.
When it pains me. Now I've become an enemy of my own people.
You have. You're a self-hating Coloradoan.
Yes, I'm a self-hating Coloradoan, a self-hating Denverite.
Coloradoite?
Broncosite. But no, they are very much in this group of teams that I will have to see it in the playoffs. I will have to see them prove it in the playoffs. And until I see that, it will not feel right. It will not feel comfortable. No matter what the defense is, or even if they manage to find a way to score a couple touchdowns in a game.
Broncos at home versus the Chiefs. Who would you take?
The Chiefs.
Okay.
I love this exercise in the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
Simply because.
Broncos at home versus the Bills. Who would you take?
The Bills.
Broncos at home versus the Ravens. Who would you take?
The Bills. Broncos at home versus the Bengals in the playoffs. Because are the Bengals making the playoffs?
Hey.
Because they did the thing again. I saw Joe Burrow eating turkey on my Thanksgiving.
Guaranteed. The Bengals, the last week of November on, not losing a game.
Nope.
They're going to run it. Are they going to get to the playoffs? Probably not. But if they get in there, they're not going to lose a game in the playoffs either. Not with Joey B at quarterback. One of my videos sound is going to be up. It comes courtesy of Juwan Jennings, who, I don't know what the hell was said, but he pissed everybody off on that Cleveland Browns defense after a player goes down with an injury. Reporters had a chance to catch up with. Go ahead and play it, Jacob. I had a chance to catch up with the Browns defensive tackle. Here's what he had to say about it.
I see why he got punched in the nuts, because that's he says some things that you should not say to another man ever. But I don't respect it because you say that, then run behind your O-line. That's some real soft shit. And I want that known. I see exactly why they punched your nuts. I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
Shelby Harris is not pleased. Myles Garrett was asked about it. Myles Garrett sort of backs up what Harris was saying as well. Like, this is defensive lineman. I'm blanking on who it was for the Browns, but he goes down.
It was Malik Collins.
Malik Collins. Everybody comes up on, well, not everybody. There are several 49ers players who come up, and Williams, Kittle, and others come up and pat him on the back as he's being carted off of the field. So here's a player being carted off of the field. Whatever Juwan Jennings says pissed everybody off on the Cleveland side. And then Jennings went and stood behind the offensive line like, nope, big guys, protect me, please. Good stuff. You know how bad.
Do you know how crazy it is that we had two big sports-related storylines with one directly being called a hoe and the other indirectly being called a hoe?
Who was indirectly called
Lane
one?
Kiffin.
Oh, yeah.
By
Hoes and
that Ole
housewives and
Miss
such.
podcaster.
Ben Garrett.
Shouting the good words of Ludacris, which was a good metaphor.
Oh, when you said the Ludacris song, you meant
Yeah, they're going to play that thing over and over and over and over
I don't want to
again.
go listen to that. That used to be one of my favorite songs.
I did think it was funny that, what's the guy's name? Is it Ben?
Ben Garrett.
Ben Garrett. He tweeted, he was on one. I mean, from the moment it happened.
He's always on. He just
He's a
needs
funny guy.
he just needs a reason.
He tweeted, don't save him. He don't want to be saved. I was like, you know what? You know what? It continues onward. I understand the point you were trying to make. All right. I think that does it for our Dirty Dozen, right?
I think so. How
Math is hard.
How mad do you have to be? Because as dudes, we all agree the worst thing you can do is be hitting the nuts.
Yeah.
But what could he have said to make Harris say, you know what? No, he should have been hitting the nuts. I understand now. I want to hit him in the nuts.
And he should have been hitting the jaw.
Well, I understand getting hit in the jaw. Like, we talk about that all the time. But
Sure.
nuts is the no-no.
Sacred.
Yeah, nuts
No-no
is sacred.
zone.
No.
No zone. Can we do one Hot Mess Express before we get out of here? Because I know you love the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Did you see this? This clip of the Spirit of America dance stars performing their Lady Gaga tribute. And somebody took a video from behind and showed these girls were dancing in fresh poop. Poop left by the NYPD horses that
ain't no
rolled
way
through.
in hell I'm going down.
I don't know if we will play the whole clip because it's long.
Keep it going.
They
We can play it.
eventually sit
No.
in the doo-doo.
They do not sit in the
They're
dookie.
committed. They're artists. They're dancers.
Ain't no way.
Can you imagine
No.
getting to go perform in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? And
Look
you're
at
like,
the
this
person
is
down
the
at
dream.
the bottom of the screen shaking their head and
Oh,
laughing.
it's disgusting.
No.
And you're just
They keep
watching it get
stepping in
kicked
it.
up. And they are in jazz shoes. Chris thought they were barefoot. They're in tan jazz shoes.
But, like,
so they
those
have
aren't-
things over their feet.
those
But those are
aren't thick. Oh,
no,
on
God,
me.
down they go.
Oh.
And the confetti falls from the sky.
No, we got to get up. Now,
Did you enjoy the parade?
I love the parade. Parade was great.
Every year there's artists who perform in the parade and I say, you're not real. They're like, Grammy Award winning artist.
Oh, yeah, every single time.
So-and-so. And I'm like, this is not a real human being. I have never heard of this person
Mm-hmm.
in my life. I don't know that man. Apologies, I don't know that man.
Also, there's something that is, at least one moment that is oddly nostalgic. Busta Rhymes with the Ninja Turtles is incredible.
So good.
Busta Rhymes with the Ninja Turtles and Lil Jon with the Toys R Us draft. It's like, wait, I thought the Toys R Us draft retired. We don't have those anymore.
And Shaggy.
Oh,
They could have just done a Shaggy concert and I was going to be all in on it.
What the hell does it wasn't me
They're
have to do
bleeping
with
out those
Thanksgiving?
words. I'm like, I don't know what the point is here, but you keep going. You keep doing it.
Loved it.
Makes me so happy. That new SpongeBob song is just constantly stuck in my head now.
Saw Alcorn States Band.
Big guy. SpongeBob's pants okay. Big guy. Doja really got in her
Did she?
bag with that one.
Oh, what a bag to
All
get in.
right. I hope everyone has a great Monday. What a weekend. So much to get through. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be a Grizzlies game day. Mike Wallace will join us. 3-game Grizzlies winning streak. We'll see if they can make it 4 in a row on the road against the Spurs. We'll see if the Memphis Tigers make a hire. Put a day on it. When does Memphis hire their football coach?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think it has to be before Wednesday.
Today or tomorrow? I'm being
I
generous
think by
with Wednesday.
5 p.m. today, we know who the next head coach is at the University of Memphis. We'll see. We'll talk about it when it happens. We'll see Lane Kiffin's introductory press conference at LSU. Lots of fun things to go through this week. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
I think I did miss one. Wait! Come back! Stop the music!
Oh.
Come back!
What did you do? Oh, yeah, it's the horrific. Oh, yeah, you have to show this one.
I'm not doing. Well, throw the pick up there, Jacob, because this is Will Levis-esque when my man from the Vikings drops back. And
The
it's
man
about
has
to get
a name.
sacked.
The man, can
don't
you name
say
it?
his name.
Can you name it?
He doesn't have a name.
I just want you to.
You do this, and you don't have a name. That is atrocious. But that's not why I called you back here, people.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that Max Prosper pick six was so
Gosh,
bad.
don't say his
He threw
name out loud.
4 picks
Don't say
yesterday.
it out loud. Jessica.
Yeah.
'Tis the season.
Oh.
I got you a gift. I know how much you love when I bring you the dancing, twerking, animatronic animals.
I do. It is one of my favorite times of the year.
So I got you something right here in this bag.
Okay.
You can open it on the show so people can see it.
Okay.
We have us a little fun on the way out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Is it a twerking SpongeBob to the Doja Cat song?
Say what?
Is it twerking SpongeBob
It is,
to
it
the
is.
Doja Cat song?
There are 2 things in there. I want to pull the second one out, but you can pull it out if you want.
Oh.
Turn it on. Let the people hear it.
What does she say?
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell.
Don't get us taken off.
Is that copyrighted?
I don't know.
Well, I think we're good.
I was
Oh,
gonna do
you
the
gonna
Mean
do the
Girls
dance?
Okay, bye everyone.
All right,
Thanks,
we out.
CJ.
No problem. You want to open the other thing?
No.
You sure?
No.
Okay.